Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
If an individual try to break into our place, no, they have another thing coming.
Some local burglars found out what happens when you mess with the wrong homeowner. 2 adults and a child were accused for breaking into a home on 7th Avenue South near Concordia College in Moorhead. I talked with people living in that neighborhood today about the apparent mistake made by the accused. Recent burglaries in this Moorhead neighborhood
2.5, 3 years.
have people on the lookout.
I live in this house. One of my roommates had like a moped motorcycle thing and someone tried to steal it. They just took it a few blocks down.
Within the last week, burglars took jewelry, electronics, and coins. However, the criminals made a key mistake in picking this house. One of the occupants, Joseph Clancy, served in the 82nd Airborne Division. He and his roommate, who is also ex-military, call it their home base.
If an individual try to break into our place, no, they have another thing coming.
Clancy says the burglars tried getting through his front door.
I immediately just go into defensive mode. Always watch your six, meaning look behind your back anywhere you go. If there's anybody following you, if there's anybody even in a vehicle watching around here, however, because there is a lot of high crime rate.
Clancy says to keep what he calls his bug out bag ready because you never know when you may need to escape.
It consists of the silver cold weather gear blanket, food, necessities. Well, being that I'm military, I have MREs in there, military ready to eat meals.
The names of those arrested have not been released. Police remind you to call them if you see any suspicious activity in your neighborhood. Take a look at this video of a pickup truck on its side after a 3-vehicle accident in Fargo. It happened around 12:30 near West Acres Mall, right across from Target. 5 people involved in the car wreck were treated on scene for minor injuries. Police say 2 vehicles collided in the intersection and the force caused them to hit another car.
One of the vehicles that was involved in the crash did require extrication from the fire department. There were 2 people inside that couldn't get out. And so the fire department responded quickly, as they always do.
Police say the crash remains under investigation, but someone will likely be cited for a traffic violation. New information for you regarding a story we brought to you last week. 2 men are now in jail following a string of burglaries in Richland County. Officials say 29-year-old Dylan Huber and 31-year-old Andrew Milkus are in the Richland County Jail for incidents that are not connected, according to jail records. On December 7th of last year, Huber was arrested for burglary at a vacant home near Lidgerwood. Milkus was arrested on January 1st on several charges. Court records say he got into a fight with Wahpeton police after being stopped in a car that was reported stolen. We're mentally preparing for a cold blast that's moving in. In fact, there are several waves of cold headed our way, but let's just see if we can get through that one at a time. Here's Nathan with the latest in your no-wait weather planner.
Yeah, Kelly, we've got a couple of waves of that Arctic air moving toward us, and the first one comes overnight tonight. Temperatures already on the way down, but a beautiful shot right now from our Valley Skycam. A lot of orange there. Kind of a cold scene there on our Valley Skycam as the sun has just set, so still seeing a little bit longer daylight. Lingering, twilight does linger a bit longer here as we go into the spring months. Now, we're not going to see any spring temperatures, of course, for quite some time, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But we got 0 in Grand Forks and Thief River Falls, -1 right now, Baudette, Bemidji, and there is a wind chill advisory going through the night tonight. So again, this is looking at those dangerous wind chills expected through the night with the air temperatures as cold as they will be with the wind we're expecting, especially in the overnight hours. Things will be dangerously cold out there when you factor in that wind chill. Clear skies will help us stay pretty quiet and will keep us cold for the overnight, as those clouds are not really helping too much right now to keep anybody insulated from those temperatures. But of course, Callie, as you said, a couple of waves of Arctic air. We have 3 of them that we're watching. Of course, we'll break all those down coming up in a couple minutes.
It is getting cold out there.
It is getting cold. January, North Dakota.
Oh, no. Well, thank you, Nathan.
Yeah.
And if you're planning to hit the road for the big game, make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so you can keep up with the weather at any time, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so you can plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free. Neighbors around the metro reached our whistleblower hotline to ask what's up with all the noise. They say snow plows are keeping them up throughout the night as crews continue to clear the roads and move snow. Today, Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with snow crews who say it's all just a part of the job.
It's the sound many in downtown and West Fargo say is causing them to lose sleep.
It's literally on point for the last 2 weeks. It's been 2:30 in the morning. It's like, oh, there's the snow plows again. Yeah, I'm awake.
While McDougal says she understands the work needs to be done, the 2 a.m. wake-up call seems louder than it needs to be.
If residents also have to follow the noise ordinance laws, why don't construction workers and snowplow drivers and all them have to follow it?
But Don Nelson says there's not much to be done about it, as nights are when the best work gets done.
And a lot of our clients and customers want the lot cleaned by morning, and it's the easiest time for us to move around with all of the cars in the parking lot.
He also says as annoying as those backup alarms can be, it's for both your and their safety.
Yes, they'll hear backup alarms, but for me, that's a good thing. Let's say I inadvertently at a Walmart, backup alarm's not working, and I back into someone. It's a bad deal.
Both Nelson and the city say it's been non-stop since last week, with city trucks hauling over 800 loads of snow a day. Fargo Public Works says at night, crews focus on downtown and emergency routes and say they only dump snow near the landfill, keeping as much noise as possible away from sleeping neighbors.
Not like we're trying to keep everybody up, but it happens.
And McDougal says she gets it, but also says she hopes alternative and quieter backup alarms can eventually replace this.
So if I had to choose whether or not I'd sleep or have them get the roads clear and safe, I would choose road clears and safe.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Fargo Public Works says their newer equipment is being ordered with white noise backup alarms. They're looking into it for their older trucks as well. If you need help with an issue in your community, call our whistleblower hotline at 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. Police in Fargo are asking for your help in finding a couple who hasn't been heard from for at least 2 months. Police are searching for 31-year-old Bonnie Morse and 40-year-old Jimmy Shoemake. Neither one has a permanent address, and they haven't been seen since they were released from jail in October. Morse is 5'1", 115 pounds with blue eyes and brown hair. Shoemake is 5'10", 120 pounds with hazel eyes and brown hair. If you know where they are or could be, call police at the number up on your screen. Fargo police also need your help finding the driver who hit someone with their truck and then took off. Authorities say it happened on New Year's Eve, close to midnight, just outside of the Noble Restaurant and Bar in the 600 block of NP Avenue. The victim was walking between 2 parked cars before being hit. They were hurt but are expected to be okay. The only information we have at this time is the suspect's vehicle was described as a light-colored truck. If you have any information regarding this incident, please call Fargo Police at 701-241-5777. Authorities in southern Minnesota say an officer is fighting for his life after being shot in the head. At a news conference earlier today, police identified Officer Eric Matson of the Waseca Police Department as the officer who is in critical condition. They say Officer Matson was responding to a domestic disturbance call around 8 last night in Waseca when he was ambushed and shot. The suspect was also shot and is now in police custody.
Waseca police officers do not wear body cameras. They do have dash cameras, and we're still in the process of determining if they captured any portion of this incident.
Officer Matson is in a Twin Cities hospital. Stick with Valley News Live on our news app as we follow this story. Officials in South Dakota are preparing to vote on whether to legalize recreational marijuana for adults 21 years and older. Yesterday, the Secretary of State said his office has validated a proposed constitutional amendment that would legalize marijuana and require the state legislature to enact a hemp cultivation law. In November, South Dakota voters will also decide a measure to allow medical marijuana. Join us tomorrow as our Proceed Road to Frisco coverage kicks off live in Frisco with the Bison football team. We'll bring you the latest all week, keeping you up to our 90-minute long Farmers Union Insurance Bison football pregame show on Saturday. Coverage begins at 9:30 with kickoff to follow at 11 between the Bison and the Dukes.